Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Uniquely You Life, with me, your coach Kelly. And I hope you are all having a great week, that you have had a very productive week, a very transformative week, and that you are closer to your goals today than you were yesterday. This week, I'm going to be talking about something that you may not have given a lot of thought to, but is very relevant to our transformation, and that is staying present. Even though we want to think about our future, what our future self looks like, imagine and visualize what that looks like, if we are so stuck in the future or in the past, then that can really hinder our transformation, because what we want to do is stay present in the moment, because life happens in the moment. Life happens 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. So that's why it's so important to stay in that present moment, so that you're more aware of what is going on inside you and even around you. Most of the time, we are more stuck in the future or in the past than we are where we are actually seated. We make choices, the choices that we make today in this moment are what are going to take us to the future where we want to go. Because only right now is what counts. What choice are you making right now that is going to get you to the place that you want to be? But you've got to be present and stay present. I know when I talk about weight loss, talk about eating, I talk a lot about staying present in the moment. Sorry. Because that's where life happens. The Bible tells us to not be worried about tomorrow. It tells us to forget those things that are behind and press on toward the goal that's ahead of us. So today I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can stay present. So one of the ways that you can stay present is to do one task at a time. Not all this multitasking that we all, pointing the finger at me, that we all do. Because when you're multitasking, you are not able to give your full attention to the thing that is right in front of you. And that's why I say when I talk about that eating, when we are present to the moment and we can be undistracted when we're eating and we're just focused on the food, then we can, and what we're eating, then that gives our brain and our body time to communicate and let us know when we have had enough. Make us aware of the sensations in our body to let us know that we've had enough. The second thing is to stop being a slave to your mind. Have you ever noticed how much time you spend in the future or in the past? Because that just seems to be where our brains are hardwired to go. It's like we're either way out there or we're way back in the past. But how many thoughts that we have are actually in the present moment? It's kind of like if you were to take a trip, and I know this has happened with me before. If you pack up your bags and you're getting ready, you are so excited. It is vacation time. And I know that, many of us, with it being summer, have experienced some of this. You take your time off work. You take your time off from doing all the things around the house that you need to do. And you plan this vacation. And you're so excited about this vacation. For me, I'm like writing down the list of all the things that I need to take with me so I don't forget anything. I get, all of the things out that you would take on a vacation that are probably stuck way back in the closet because you don't, have them out all the time. But you get in the car, you pack your stuff, you may pack your kids' stuff, you may pack the grandkids' stuff. All of this stuff is in the car. And you fill up your car with gas. You make sure that the oil is changed. You do all these things to prepare for this trip that you are just so ready for. You're like, I've got to get away. I just need this break. I just need this getaway. But what you find happens is on the ride to your destination, whether that be the beach or whether that be the mountains or whether that be just some, out west, wherever that may be, you find yourself thinking about, oh man, I took off 5 days of work. I just cannot imagine what I'm going to come back to. And you think about all the emails that you've got to, you'll have to catch up on, all the meetings that you're going to have to, get notes from because you missed those. Or if it's at home, all of the loads of laundry you get back, I'm going to have to unpack all these bags, and I'm going to have to wash all this laundry, and I'm going to have to do all these things to get prepared to either go back to work or go back to school. And then you find that you've arrived at your destination, but you didn't enjoy any of the ride. None of it, because your thoughts were thinking way in the future, and you just don't enjoy just the complete experience of the ride. I mean, how often do we do that? I know, like I said, I have done that many a times. The third thing is control, and trying to control the circumstances that we face. There are circumstances and situations that arise that you may be worried about the what ifs. Well, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? Or maybe it could be the should be's, like I should be further along in this weight loss journey, but yet here I sit. I should be doing this. I should have already gotten this course out of the way. I should have already done this. I should have, or what if this happens? So we're stuck. I know the other day, just to give you an example of kind of how this happens in real time for me. So I was sitting the other day at my desk, had a million things running through my mind. I'm like, I've got to get 3 loads of laundry done. I've got to get dinner cooked. I've got to make these 2 phone calls. And I start feeling this anxiety well up in me. For me, it starts in my stomach and then it'll kind of come up to my chest. And so I've experienced that sensation enough to know what that feels like and recognize it. So I have to intentionally sit back in my chair. I have to take a few deep breaths. And then I said out loud to myself, press the next key. Now this is when as I'm working. So just press the next key. Just read the name that's on the screen. Just do the next right thing. Just do the next motion to move me forward. And when I did that the other day, and when I do that, I can kind of feel that sensation in my body start to subside. And that's how I self-regulate my nervous system so that I can move on. But when we stay stuck in that was me concerned and worried about the future, all the things that I needed to get done. And I wasn't in that present moment. And staying in the present, it really takes some practice. We're not always in the present moment. And that's okay. We can be in different places. It doesn't mean that we are letting go of our dreams or that we are not thinking about our responsibilities. That's not what it means at all. It's about being aware of how we drift into that past or into the future that keeps us from moving and making the next right step so that we can move toward our goals. It is about doing what's the next right motion. Because if you are like me, or like I was when I was like losing my weight, or even there were times when I had a very low self-confidence, very low negative self-image. And I would be like, okay, I would be thinking about, well, all this all this stuff in the future. Well, I'm never going to have a husband, or I'm never going to, have a group of friends that really get me, because I just felt so out of touch with everyone around me. But as I became aware of what was going on in my mind in that present moment, I was able to say, no, this is what I'm going to do. And then make a choice in that present moment. Because living in the present, staying present, it's about savoring like the simple little things in our lives. Maybe it's just a good laugh with your family or your friends. Maybe it's just a nice walk outside where you feel the sunshine on your face, feel the fresh air blowing. I know it's hot here, but there's going to be, just in a few more weeks, it's going to be cool, and that air, that crisp air. Maybe for you, it's listening to a song that is upbeat, encourages you, makes you feel happy, joyful. Maybe it's reading a good book. Maybe it's cozying up in a blanket. Maybe it's quiet time with the Lord. It's just those simple little things. It's a hug from your child, a sweet kiss from your grandchild. Those simple little staying present. Because you know what happens? Like with me, when I go and play with my great niece, who I adore so much, I'm never in the future or in the past. I'm always present with her. I'm always very present with her because it's something that I enjoy doing. So when you find something that you enjoy doing, it can bring you back to those present moments, like it is with me and my great niece. So there are many things in your life that you can love and appreciate. There are so many. We just overlook them. I know sometimes for me, I just sit here, I look out this window, and there's some trees across the street, and I just love, like when the wind's blowing, just watching the leaves blow in that tree. I just savor that moment. It's just very peaceful and tranquil to me to, watch those leaves blow. So just pay attention to those things around you in that present moment that you can just hold on to, that just bring you such joy. Examine your thoughts at any given moment. Just stop. Maybe you set a timer, like 3 times a day, I'm going to check in where my thoughts are. And just say, okay, am I thinking in the future? Am I holding on to the past? Where are they at any given moment? So I challenge you this week to really stop and be aware of where you're sitting. And by that, I mean, where are you sitting? Be where your feet are. I don't know if that's a quote I heard, but be where your feet are. It is so helpful. Take a deep breath and stay present to the moment. And I want to leave you with a couple of quotes that I just really hone in on being present. One is, learn from the past, prepare for the future, and live in the present. And the next is, and I really love this one, if you must look back, do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. However, the wisest thing you can do is to be present in the present gratefully. And that's Maya Angelou. So I hope you got something out of this today. Really be aware of where you are seated, staying in the present moment, because it's how our life is transformed. Every single moment is a moment you can make a choice. You can choose to move forward, or you can choose to stay stuck. But you don't want to stay stuck. You don't want to stay stuck. You want to move forward. You want to move into the life that you were designed to live. Be authentically you. So next week I will be back, and I hope to see you then. Bye.